is young and so are we, baby. The night is young, so let's have some fun. If you love me right, yeah, this could be the summer of our lives now, huh? Give it to me like you know you should now, baby. This could be the summer of our lives, the summer of our lives. The sun sets on fire, tell me your desires. I'm not getting tired, baby, take me higher. I'm Sunday, you love it, come on, give me something. I know that you want me, boy. The night is young and so are we. So maybe you should leave with me.
There we go. Okay, now I'm live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. I thank Facebook. I have never ever gone live on Instagram before. I've gone live on YouTube and YouTube and Facebook a few times, but I have never gone live on Instagram. So bear with me. For the people watching on Facebook or YouTube, I do have, I don't know, I'm old. Okay. So I put together a PowerPoint presentation because that's what we do. That's what we learned how to do in high school, right? So I did put together just kind of like some visuals. And then, like I said, for people here on Instagram, they don't let us give visuals as much. I don't think so. But of course, as y'all know, I have like bombarded Instagram this week with in my stories and in my feed, all kinds of things about what we're going to be doing. So I think y'all are probably like regurgitating all of these activities. So you already know. But anyways, hello on all three streams. I'm Stacy. I was a registered nurse and I just quit my career as a nurse to go full-time as a travel content creator because I have been traveling. I don't know. Well, I started going abroad when I was 15, but we don't need to go back that far. But anyways, I love to travel. I want to help you travel abroad. So welcome to my live stream. This live stream is mostly about my Iceland group trip. I am starting group trips 2024, and Iceland's going to be the first one. We are scheduled to go out February 2024, which I'm so pumped. This is a bucket list destination for me. I don't know if it's a bucket list destination for y'all, but I'm very, very excited. If you are here, put a comment down in the stream. I can see some already here. Some people are joining on Instagram. Hello, Lisa, Ocean Lover 72, Amy Beth, Itty Bitty Texas Pity. That's cute. And Steph, nice to see y'all in here. So like I said, I'm going to be going over the Iceland trip. If you have any questions, throw them in the chat. On Instagram, it's just going to really be a lot of me talking. And then on YouTube and Facebook, I'm going to show you. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up my cute little presentation that I had here. There we go. Okay. That way y'all can be seeing them. But as far as the trip details go, like I said, Iceland, bucket list destination. It is February 4th through the 10th, 2024. So it gives you plenty of time to plan, plenty of time to look for those flight deals. And I wanted to do that on purpose because Iceland is, like I said, it's not like Central America or Southeast Asia where it's the cheapest place to go in the world. It is a little bit more pricey. It's an island. And so it does have that kind of island pricing, but it is a bucket list destination. It's one of those destinations that the money is worth it. I think, I hope, I think the money definitely will be worth it. I've been watching so many videos on YouTube about people who've gone to Iceland, and every one of them says that they would book that trip 100 times over. So I'm very excited for it. I'm hoping that I'm going to give you enough information to be able to make an educated decision for yourself. I'm sorry that I keep looking back and forth, but I've got two cameras here. So I'm trying to give you both eye contact. But I hope I give you enough information to make an educated decision for yourself, because I don't want anybody to kind of lop off more than they can chew as far as, monetary restrictions. So I'll give you all the info. There are payment plans. We'll talk about that. But yeah, we'll just kind of get into it. So the people right now that are on, oh, hi, Cheryl. Hi from Missouri. Hi, Cheryl on Facebook. Let me pull you up there. There you are. Hey, Cheryl. Welcome to the chat. As I was saying, travel dates February 4th through the 10th, 2024. The group maximum on this trip is 14 people. It's not a lot, but I actually kind of like it. Some of the trips that they do with Trova Trip are up to 24 people, which could be fun. But I just kind of feel like, especially going to Iceland, you kind of want that smaller group. I want us to be able to make connections with each other. I want this to be, kind of maybe even lifelong friendships, the people that you meet on this group. And that's harder to do when you have so many people. So I maxed out at 14. Group minimum for us to even be able to confirm the trip and go is 8. That's another reason why there's 8 early bird spots. My early bird spots aren't on a time restriction. It's just the first 8 travelers. So the first 8 travelers get $250 off each. As I was saying before, if you're a couple going, or maybe a couple of girlfriends or guy friends or whoever, mom and daughter or whatever, y'all will get $500 off because you each get 250. If you're coming as a solo traveler, same thing again. If you book that early bird spot, you'll get $250 off of your booking. If you're coming as a solo traveler, one of the things I love, and I did this actually for my Bali trip. I'm taking 2 trips this year myself with Trova Trips. I'm going to Costa Rica in March with my mom. And then in August, I'm going to Bali just by myself, just with whoever comes along on that trip. And I think it's actually almost sold out. So it's going to be a lot of fun. And they give you the option if you want to, if you don't want to room with somebody else, because I understand, especially for me, sometimes the older I get, I just want my own space, want my own privacy. The older I get, that's just more important to me than bunking up with somebody that I don't know, I might not like them. I don't know. They give you the option to pay a little bit more money and get your own room. So you do have that option. You don't have to bunk with somebody that you don't know if you don't want to. It's fine. But yeah, definitely get you an early bird spot if you've decided that you're going to do it. Right now, anyone that's a part of my Patreon membership or my YouTube channel membership can go ahead and book in each one of those members areas. I've already put a link on there where you can go ahead and book. I know that's not what this video is about, but just so you know, you're probably thinking, why do I want to join your membership? The memberships are the same on either Patreon or YouTube, but what you get with that are my goals for that this year. Not only are you supporting me as a previous nurse that just quit her career to do this job, but also, I'm going to be creating videos just for you, travel videos. I've actually already put one up right now. It's my 2023, like all of my travel plans, stuff that I've not even talked about yet. So it's videos just for the members. You get to vote on maybe places that I travel to in the future, maybe videos that I do. There are a couple of tiers that will give you a handwritten postcard from some of these destinations that I go to. So that's really fun. There's a lot more perks than that, but that's kind of the gist of it. So you get a lot more, and then you're also helping keep me going and helping me create content for you. So the people that are on my members, you can go ahead and book now. The links are already there. Otherwise, this booking opens up to everybody this upcoming Monday, January 16th, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time here in the United States. Oh, hi, Danielle. Oh, I know. She said, I wish you could, but I hope you have an amazing time. I wish you could go too, Danielle. I really honestly believe with my whole heart this is going to be an awesome, awesome trip. Let me see what people are saying in the Instagram chat real quick. Let's see. Oh, Amy Beth said hi. T. Maddox said hi from Georgia. Your husband is the best. Thank you. Him and the dogs are in the other bedroom. He's trying to kind of keep them out of here because they can get really rowdy and then they'll start barking if the neighbor dogs start barking or if the kids next door make noise. And so they're just, I don't know, but I love it when they play. Anybody who has dogs, do you just like love it when your dogs play with each other? And it's so cute. And I wish they would play more. Ocean Lover says, birthday the last night there on the night. See, birthday trip. That's why you need to think about it. Oh, T Maddox says he made my 11-year-old kid's dream come true. I love your site. My husband and I are dreaming of your trip. Oh, thank you so much. He is, I'll tell you, very supportive. I couldn't be luckier if I tried. I don't know a lot of spouses that would be encouraging, like, yeah, quit your career and go for this dream that you have. But, he kind of told me himself that people took a chance on them. If you don't know it, my husband's a musician, which, the music industry is just kind of like a fickle, well, being an entertainer in general, it's just kind of fickle. You don't know if it's going to work out. And so he said, at one point somebody took a chance on them, and it's been quite successful for them. So hopefully I will build this business out, really to make it as beneficial for y'all as possible. I want to offer as much tips and education for these destinations as I can to hopefully not only encourage you to travel to these places, but also to help you have the best trip. That's one of the main reasons that I have my YouTube here on Instagram, for instance. This is Instagram, this is YouTube and Facebook. Here on Instagram and Facebook, it's tips, trying to give you tips. I just put out a bunch of stuff about passports because I found that that's kind of confusing. Whereas YouTube is also tips, but it's more like, hey, come travel with me to these destinations and see if this atmosphere and this culture and the food and the people are something that you think that you might be interested in trying too. Because I want to open people up to new destinations, I hope. Anyways, I'm getting off point. Again, for my YouTube peeps that can see this and my Facebook people. So what's included? In the cost of the trip, your lodging is included, your airport transfers is included. So we're not just going to kind of leave you up to yourself to try to figure out how to get from the airport to the hotel when you get there, or how to get back to the airport from the hotel on the last day. Your airport transfers are taken care of. They have a window. It's from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on both of those days. Or I think on the departing day, it's that morning because, most of you would be leaving out that morning at some point. Like I said, I'm kind of doing this for my Costa Rica trip with my mom in March. We have put our flight to arrive within that window so that we can get one of the transfers, and then they'll take us to the hotel. Your breakfasts are included for every day except for the first day, because people will be coming in that day. So we don't really know when people are going to get there to include a breakfast, but your dinner is included on the first day. Speaking of dinners, your dinners are included on the trip except for the last day, because obviously most people should be gone off the tour by then. Your activities, we're going to be doing 14 different types of activities, or 14 different activities. I put them up again. If you're on my Instagram, I think I did a whole thing last night of all the types of things that we're going to be doing. And if you will go to my tour page, and I believe that I have plugged this on my Facebook already, on my Instagram, in my stories. Matter of fact, on Instagram, y'all, if you go to my main page and click on the highlights, there's a group trip highlight that's got all of my stories with links if you ever need to refer back to them. But I have a tour page that will tell you everything about the trip, the dates, what's included, what's not included, the itinerary. You can look day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You can see what we're going to be doing from start to finish every day. You can also see, for instance, the hotels that we're going to be staying in, which for the people who can see this, I do have some pictures. I looked the hotels up myself because I'm kind of picky about that. I don't need anything fancy, but I also don't need a lap of luxury. That's not Jeff and I. We just want something moderate. We want it clean. We want it safe. We're not picky. But the hotels look really nice. They are Scandinavian, of course, so they're minimalistic. Think IKEA. That's where my mind went when I saw them. Think IKEA. That it's minimalistic. You get what you need. They're cute, but they're not anything fancy. This isn't a luxury trip. I'm not a luxury travel person. I don't think your average person every year takes a luxury vacation. Maybe you do. Hey, hit me up. I will come with you. We go on luxury trips for special occasions. We went on our honeymoon, or we might go, maybe for like a 10th anniversary or something, or somebody's birthday, but we're not taking those types of vacations all the time. We can afford it. So they are cute little hotels. Matter of fact, one of them I'm super excited about. It's more rural, but I like that because that's, I think, where we're going to have the best chance of seeing the Northern Lights, maybe because we'll be away from the city lights of Reykjavik. And so that's why we're out there. We're also seeing some sites out there, but it's more rural. I think it's actually a farm. They've got these little horses on it and stuff. It's so cute, but it's a rural place to stay. But very cute. They look very safe. They look very clean. And I have talked to some other people that have taken the same Trova trip. I just talked to them in the last few days, and they said that everything was wonderful and they loved it and they would do it again and again. But some of the activities that we're going to be seeing are waterfalls, of course. They've got some big, huge, kind of like expansive waterfalls, and then they've got, the big, tall, majestic ones. We're going to be seeing geysers. Think Yellowstone, same idea, big geysers. We're going to be seeing glaciers. Now, I mentioned on one of my stories, we don't do the glacier cave treks. You can definitely do that. I would recommend coming in maybe a day early or a day later, or stay a day later and book that onto your trip. Matter of fact, I was just looking at it myself with a tour company that provides those, because you have to be licensed to do that. And so only specific companies can do it. So I was looking at that myself because I thought going down into maybe one of the glacier caves seemed neat. Kind of scary for me, but hey. And then we're also going to be seeing a glacier lagoon where, parts of the glaciers have broken off into like these big, huge icebergs. Of course, like I said, we're going to be trying to see those northern lights. I just think that would be absolutely magical. That's one of the main reasons I picked this time of year to go. I know when everybody did my survey, tons of people said that they could travel somewhere over the summer. But the thing about the northern lights, although the solar flares are kind of happening year round, you can't see them as well during the summer because you'll get to the point in July and August where you've got 24 hours of daylight up there. So in the dead of winter, sort of December, January, February is where we're going to be having the best chance. We've got the most amount of nighttime. There's just like, I don't know, 4, maybe 6 hours tops of daylight when we're going to be going. And usually it's kind of in the middle of the day. I think like the sun comes up at like 10 or 11 in the morning, and then it goes down by like 3 or 4. But again, that's going to give us the most maximum amount of time to see those dang northern lights. And that's one of my main things for this trip that's I think would be the trip of a lifetime, because you can't see them all the time. You can't see them from all over the world. And I just want to see them so bad. I think it would just be like the most magical thing ever. Okay, I digress. Of course, like I said in one of my posts, we're going to be going to some hot springs. We're going to go to some natural hot springs that, to me, absolutely just kind of look like a little hole of water in the ground. That's how they do it in Iceland. It's very natural. It's very calming. Some say kind of like our waters here. If you've ever been to like Hot Springs, Arkansas, the healing waters of the natural springs, they say can make your joints feel better. I'm sure the heat mostly helps with that. We're going to be going to the Blue Lagoon. So if you've ever looked up anything for Iceland, the Blue Lagoon is like the thing that tourists do. And I know it's a touristy spot-ish, but I just really think that it's something that you should do. You can sorry, I have ADHD, so I get like anyway. You can get like these mud masks. They've got these sulfuric mud masks that you can put on. And then everybody says that if you'll go around sunrise or sunset, it's so serene and beautiful and magical, and you feel almost like you're in a different world. So we're going to be doing that. And that pretty much kind of sums up the types of things we're going to be doing. We are going to be going to some national parks. We will be walking along some tectonic plates, which again, you can't just do any old place. I believe it's the split between the North American tectonic plates and the Eurasian tectonic plates. I know you can walk through them in some spots when it's deeper. There are some areas where you can swim through the tectonic plates. We will not be swimming through them. But you can do that again if you want to extend your trip. Get in a day early or a day later, whatever you want to do. If you have the time and you want to do that, I really want to do that. I think you can snorkel, but I have seen some people scuba dive through there. We're not scuba certified. But yeah, swimming through two tectonic plates, doesn't that just sound kind of wild? But yeah, so that is an option. But we will be seeing the tectonic plates. I believe we'll be walking along them and looking at them. We are going to have a local, very experienced Icelandic guide. And I think that's one of the biggest key points on this trip. It's not like we're just planning this trip and we're sending a bunch of people out there and here's stuff you're going to go see and good luck. We're going to have a guide helping us out. They know the land, they know the weather, they know where things are, they know specific and educational facts about all these places that we're going to be seeing, which I think adds a lot of value to the trip. Because you've got someone who's so knowledgeable to help you really understand the landscapes that you're going to be seeing. Iceland is very big on people who are nature lovers, people who want to see parts of the world that don't look like theirs. And I think it's going to add so much value to the trip to have somebody there to educate us, but also to help us, whether you have a medical emergency or you just need to know where the bathroom is, or maybe you want some suggestions on where to eat on your free night to go have dinner somewhere. So having that guide there, I think, is really just going to up the value of the trip even more, because that's not something that you get on a lot of group tours that you go on. All right. Oh, hi, Summer and Suze and RJ Shaw. Welcome to the chat. Oh, yeah. So Cheryl says in Facebook, Northern Lights are my number one of my husband's bucket lists. I'm telling you, yes. That I know I've said this a million times, but that is one of the main reasons why I picked this time of year to go. I know most people said they wanted to go travel during the summer, but everybody said they wanted to go to Iceland. And Iceland is awesome during the summer, but it's also way more expensive because that's the high season. And then I also just wanted to see the Northern Lights, Cheryl. So being a little selfish there, but it's just a bucket list thing that I've got to check off before I can't. So before my knees won't let me. Okay, so let me move along on the slides for anybody that's watching on Facebook or YouTube. So what's not included? Your international flights are not included. And that's mostly because everybody's going to be coming from so many different places, and maybe you want to use points, maybe you want to use airline miles, maybe you're coming from New York, which isn't going to be nearly as expensive as a flight for DFW from Dallas, where I live. So those are just very personal items that we want to allow you the option to book those flights however you want to and whenever you want to. And I'll talk about that here in just a little bit, because I'm already seeing Iceland flight deals come up. It's not for this time of the year. It's not for February of next year, because they don't schedule out that far. But I'm telling you, I see deals for Iceland all the time, mostly in the summertime. But we'll get to that in a minute. International flights is not included. Your traveler's insurance is not included. I always suggest making sure you have some kind of travel insurance. You never know what's going to happen, especially, look at all these things we're seeing in the news right now, as far as Southwest canceling all these flights, or, we just went through 3 years of the panty. That's what I call it. So you just don't know what's going to happen. I always suggest having a little bit of traveler's insurance, if nothing more, to help protect you from illness when you get over there, maybe a medevac to fly you out if you need to get back to the States real fast, and then something to protect you as far as if your flights get canceled, if they lose your baggage, like those big things. Those are the things we see the most. And then any extra meals or extra purchases that aren't included that we've talked about on the trip are extra. Of course, anything you want to buy, if you need 6 cups of coffee a day, those are probably going to be on you, except for the one you get at breakfast, or maybe another one you get when we come back to the hotel later that day. And then any souvenirs and stuff, of course, are not included. So we are going to be staying at, they're 3-star hotels, but I'm telling you, like, I looked up these hotels on Expedia, and then I always look stuff up on TripAdvisor, just because I think if people are going to gripe about stuff, they're going to gripe about it on TripAdvisor. So that's where I go. And a matter of fact, for my YouTubers and my Facebookers, I'll pull this up, so I don't need to refresh the prices. Hotel Clutter is one of them. This is actually one of the breakfasts that they've got, but it's such a cute little hotel. And I wouldn't say this was 3-star. I think that this is a precious little hotel. And on top of that, It's got 4 out of 5 star. Every place, matter of fact, that I looked up that they've got us booked in. And again, if you're just joining in, I have got a link to my tour page that is linked on Facebook. It's linked in YouTube. It's linked on my stories. It's linked on Instagram in my highlights reel. But you can see every hotel we're going to be staying at. And you can look them up yourself. Maybe that'll make you feel better about where we're going to be staying. But every place that I looked up is 4 stars, 4 out of 5 stars, 3.5 out of 5 stars, stuff like that. So they're really, really cute. I know one of the first or second, maybe it is the first and second night, we'll be staying in Reykjavik. And then I think we go out to the farm that I was talking about, which I'm hoping will get us away from the city lights a little bit more so we can see the northern lights. We're going to be seeing some landscape areas out that way too. We're going to go to another place, a peninsula. I think we stay a night there, and then I think we come back to Reykjavik for the last night or two. And then, like I said, I believe on the every day, well, I'm getting off base. I know on the last night, or yeah, the last day, you have a little bit more free time to kind of do your own thing when we get back into Reykjavik. But also keep in mind, if any day we're going to do stuff and you're like, you know what, I don't want to do that. I just want to chill in town, or maybe I just want to stay at the hotel. I'm not feeling well that day. Whatever you want to do, you have that option. It's not like, hey, we're going to go see this waterfall and you must come. If there's things that you don't want to do or you're not interested in, or maybe you just want to hang back, you absolutely can do that. Totally fine. The guide is going to come with us on the group tour of whatever we're seeing, but you have the option to not do it if you don't want to do it, especially if you just want a whole free day, maybe in Reykjavik to do your own thing, do it. This is your trip. So customize it to how your lifestyle, whatever works best for you. Ocean Lover says, what airline out of DFW should I look at? I've never traveled internationally. To Iceland, I'm not gonna say you're not limited, but I would put up some Google flight alerts for Iceland Air, because that's Iceland's main international. They have their own airline, Iceland Air. Well, it doesn't belong to the country, but they used to have Wow Air, which was a discount one, and they filed for bankruptcy. So don't do that. But most airlines take you up that way. I even looked up stuff on American just because we fly American a lot, but American can be kind of pricey. Here in a minute, I'm going to talk about what I think you should do as far as putting alerts and some websites that can help you find cheap deals. So we'll get to that in a minute. But yeah, as far as an airline, definitely put up some alerts for Iceland Air. They tend to run a lot of specials. Matter of fact, the alerts that I got today for this summer and this fall for Iceland are with Iceland Air. So put them on your radar. Hi, Kirsty. Hello, honey. Kirsty actually is also hosting some group trips. She this year is going, I think, to Italy and Greece. And if I wasn't already traveling, I would be. Matter of fact, I think we might, if I still go to Greece and Italy, we might actually be in Italy and Greece about the same time. So I'll hit you up, girl, if I'm over there. Heidi, welcome. I didn't say hi to you. Heidi said she's really thinking of joining this trip. Girl, come on. Whether you need to come alone, that's cool, or you got somebody to come with, come on. Everybody's welcome. The only people we don't want are mean people. If you're a jerk, don't come on the trip. I just want nice people. I'm not saying you have to like everybody, but I'm a nice person. I try to be nice to everybody, and I want people who come on my trips to just be nice human beings. That's all I ask. So yeah. So we talked about hotels. Let me switch slides. These are just some of the reviews. Like I said, these are actually the most recent reviews. One's from October, and one's from December, I think. Oh no, December 22. I don't know the date on that one, but they're the most recent hotel reviews I found for some of the hotels we're going to be staying at. I just wanted you to see that they are getting good reviews and people are satisfied with their trip. Okay. So again, activities, and I cannot say all these names, but I'm going to try to do what I can. So again, we're going to go to Thingvellir National Park. We're going to do that tour there. We're going to go to the Great Geyser, stroke reviewing. We're going to Gullfoss Waterfall, and that's the big, expansive waterfall. We're going to try to spot northern lights. It is dependent on weather, because if it's really cloudy, it doesn't matter if the solar flares are really banging that night. If it's clouds, you know how it is. You can't see the stars here. Oh, Ocean Lover says, "I'll be solo." That's fine. And like I said, if you wanna book a single room, you can do that. Whenever you, and I can go over this and I can show you, but whenever you click into book, when you're putting in your information, it will ask you, like, these are some add-ons, and we'll talk about the add-ons. There's 4 different ones. You can just add it on if you want a solo room, or you can not do that, and if there's another solo traveler, they'll put you with them. I will tell you, I only know this from my Bali trip, that if you are a solo traveler and you say, "Nah, I don't want a private room. I'm cool rooming with somebody," but there ends up not being another solo person going, you will end up just getting into a single room because they're obviously not going to put you in with another couple or something. That would be weird. So just consider that, and you wouldn't have to pay any extra for it. You would just kind of get it for free. We're going to be going to some lava fields. And like I put in my Instagram, I know that there has been quite a bit of volcanic activity in the last couple of years. I think right now everything's kind of quiet. You don't really know when it's going to go off again. So we can't guarantee that there's going to be an active volcano when we go. Um, to my knowledge, the lava fields from previous activity are definitely included. They're called the Lockheed Lava Fields Drive, if you want to look that up. I'm not sure if there's an active volcano, if they would squeeze that in. I don't really know. What is that? Oh, I don't really know if they would squeeze that in. I have heard of some people that go on these Trova trip tours that sometimes they're with their guide and something doesn't work out or whatever. Or maybe the people decide, hey, we all kind of want to do this other thing instead of this thing that's booked. And they'll kind of just switch over and do that thing if they can accommodate. So maybe that's something they can accommodate for us, maybe take us over to the thing. But if they can't, there again, extend that trip. We would, if I knew that there was going to be an active volcano, or it's active, but if it's going to be going off when we're there, I'm definitely including that in my day before when I get there, or I'm going to extend that trip out a day or two and go, because that's a bucket list, something I can't miss. So let's see, we're going to be going to the Scoffdetail National Park walk. We're going to do the glacier. I'm stuttering. The Glacier Lagoon visit. I need to slow down talking. That's no problem. We're going to be seeing the South Coast Glacier and Waterfall Drive, the Blue Lagoon visit. We're going to be doing that peninsula tour, the coastal walk, the geothermal baths, another waterfall visit. There's actually 2 of them, waterfall visits, and then another hot spring. So that's what's all included. And again, checking out Reykjavik, I would definitely take the time to walk around the city because there's so many really neat things to see. And their style is just a lot different than, like, for instance, what we have here in Texas. So I just think it would be neat to spend a day just bouncing around town, having some coffee and taking it in. So I made another thing that says, who is Iceland for? Iceland is kind of for everybody, in my opinion, to a point. I put solo travelers, of course. Iceland is a great place if you're traveling solo, especially on this group trip, because if you've never gone international by yourself. Matter of fact, Ocean Lover 72, you are not the only person that I've gotten in my DMs in the past week or two that has said that. I've had 3 other people say that they have traveled internationally, but they've never fully gone it solo. And where this wouldn't necessarily, you're not going to be solely alone. You are going to be solo without anybody that you know. And I think that that's the next step in my traveling opinion, to be able to get you and check that box. And then the next trip, I think you'll have a lot more confidence to get out there and do it alone. But yeah, it's for solo travelers for sure. Like I said before, if you're just now coming in, hi, Samantha. And hi, Lisa. Hello. If you are, I lost my train of thought. The ADHD is real, y'all. And I am actually a new ADHD diagnosis. I've always kind of known it, but I didn't want to admit it. Anyways, it's for solo travelers. We do have spots. If you want to get a private room, you totally can. You do not have to room with somebody that you don't know. That's what I was trying to say. It is for couples, of course. I've got lots of people saying, hey, my husband wants to check, Cheryl, her husband wants to check the Northern Lights off the list. Bring your husband, Cheryl. Y'all come on. Nature lovers, for sure. If you don't love nature, I don't think this is the trip for you. I'll just be honest with you, because we are going to be out in the Icelandic landscape. That is what you see when you go to Iceland. Yes, there's the city of Reykjavik, but it's not like going to London, going to Paris, going to Brussels, going to New York, going to LA. This is not city life. This is like Colorado. Okay. If you've ever been to Denver, there's the city, but Colorado is about the landscape. It's about getting outside, being one with nature, if you will, and really taking in this beautiful, serene landscape that I know we don't have here in Texas. They have things in Iceland I will never be able to see where I live. And that is why I want to check this off my list. Um, Bucket listers, northern lights, glaciers. I would say puffins, but I recently found out that the puffins are summertime animals only. I guess they must be hibernating. Huge waterfalls, tectonic plates, um, geothermal baths, geysers. I can't see a geyser where I live. All of these things are, I think, on a lot of people's bucket lists. And Iceland kind of checks off what, like 7 or 8 of them all in one swoop. Adventure seekers, we are going to be doing some adventure things, but this is not a trip where we're going to be spelunking down the side of a cliff. Again, we are not going to be scuba diving between the tectonic plates, but we are going to be seeing the cliffs. We are going to be seeing and walking around the glacier. We're not going to be caving through the glacier. We're not going to be, like I said, scuba diving through the tectonic plates. But if that's something you want to do, you have that option. Come in a day or two early or leave a day or two late, and you can do those things 100%. So you can make this trip a little bit more adventurous if that's what you're into. And then also put friend groups, because I don't want people to think that only solo people or only couples can come on this trip. If you've got a girlfriend, matter of fact, my friend Tina, she told me today that she really wants to come. And if her husband can't go, she was really thinking about taking her friend Cindy. And I think that this would be a perfect girls trip. I will tell you, while men are 100% welcome, Jeff is coming. So if your husband comes, they will not be the only male there. I think that my audience I know is primarily female. So if you and a girlfriend want to come along, come along. The only requirement is that you just need to be nice people. That's it. Nice human beings. That's the only requirement I have for this trip. Hi, Jesh. Welcome to the chat. Okay, so let me pop over to the next slide. I really wish Instagram would let me show you these slides, and maybe I can do it and I don't know how, but I had a really good presentation. Okay. And I really want people to see it. I may post it. I'll post it for you if I can put it on Instagram, possibly under my highlights. So additional options. This is what I was talking about when you are booking your trip. There is a screen that you go through before you complete the booking that says, hey, do you want to add any of these things on? And it's mostly, do you want to come in an extra day or do you want to leave an extra day? And you can do both. For instance, for us, we're going to be coming in a day early, mostly because I just want to get there before y'all get there. I already want to be in Reykjavik when y'all are coming in. That way, if you need any extra help, myself and the guides can help you. But yeah, you can come in a day early or you can leave a day late or both. And you can also add on the transfers. So the airport transfers are on the start day of the trip. That's the 4th. And the end day of the trip, that's the 10th. If you come in between, the scheduled window, I think it's 8 to 5 on the arrival day and the morning of the departure day. Those will be your times you'll be transferred to and from the airport. If you come in a day early and you need an airport transfer, then you will add that on. And then, of course, if you're going to stay a day later and you need an airport transfer, you'll just add those on. And then lastly, if you're coming solo and you don't want a room with somebody, you can get your own room. Totally cool. I'm doing it for my Bali trip. It's just where it's the point that I'm at in my life, I think. I don't know. Maybe on one of my upcoming trips that I do, I'll room with somebody that I don't know. But I'm a very light sleeper these days. I wake up to a pin drop. I used to not be, though. Ladies, real quick, did your sleep habits change when you got older? Because when I was a teenager, I could sleep. I could have a marching band walking through my room, could not budge me. And these days, if my dog breathes too loud, I wake up. And absolutely drives me batty. I just want to sleep. And that's one of the main reasons I got a private room when I'm going to Bali in August, because I know I'm going to be the nightmare for somebody else. See, the wifey poo says yes. Hi. Hi, Mark. Mark also joined us from YouTube. Hello. Welcome. Mark, on YouTube, when I'm done with this, because I know you're coming in a little bit later, I am going to have this as a replay. I don't think I mentioned that to anybody. There will be a replay, and I believe on Instagram, I will be able to put it up as a replay as well. So you can go and watch the stuff we've talked about that you missed. So no problem. Deandra Smith says, yes, you sleep lighter unless you grow older. Here's what I heard, Deandra. I heard it was because when you get to a certain age, especially as women, you're supposed to be able to sleep lighter because you need to hear your baby cry in the middle of the night. That makes total sense to me. But also, I really like to sleep through the night, and I don't have any kids. I mean, I got my dogs, but anyways, but yeah, I just want to sleep through the night without having to wear earplugs. Because then, what if a crazy person like breaks into my house and I have earplugs in and I can't hear them? I don't know. The dogs will bark. Heidi says at 46, I still sleep hard. Dang it, Heidi, I'm jealous. I just want to sleep hard through the night without waking up at every little thing. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get there. Okay, so let me move on. Next slide in my cute little presentation. So, money. I know I've already talked about the price, but if anyone doesn't know, this is a week-long trip. Some of your meals. So your 6 breakfasts, your 5 dinners. I keep putting 4 everywhere, but it's 5 dinners. Your 14 activities, your airport transfers, and your local guide are all included in the bulk of this trip. The only thing that's not included are your international flights, your travel insurance, and any extras that you want to buy. Okay, so that's all you'll have to do. Get yourself on a flight, get yourself in trip insurance, bring a little bit of cash, and come on, and you'll be good, because we've taken care of everything for you. We have planned the trip. We've booked the hotels. We've booked the excursions. We've got your transfers. You literally just have to wake up each day, get in the van or whatever they're hauling us around in, and go see pretty things and soak in a geothermal bath, and hang out and hopefully make some good connections with the other people that are going to be on this trip. So the regular price for the trip is $34.50, but I have 8 early bird spots, and each person gets $250 off their booking. So like I said before, for a couple or 2 people, you don't have to be a couple, for 2 people coming together, that's $500 that you're saving collectively, because each of you get $250. And of course, if you're a solo person, you'll get $250 off for yourself. So 8 early bird spots. It's not a time limit. It's just the first 8 people that book. So if you're one of the first 8, congratulations, you've got an early bird spot. You've saved yourself a bunch of money. To book, you only need 25% down to book. So if you get an early bird spot, that's about $800. You put that down, and then you have up to, I think it just needs to be paid off within 90 days before the trip. So I wrote that down. That will be November the 4th, I think. Yeah, November the 4th. You have all this time. It's only January right now. You have all this time. Hi, Tina. I was talking about you. You have all that time to pay it off. No interest. You just pay it. And then if you get it all paid, great. Now, if you need a longer payment plan, they do have 6 months, but like I said, you won't really need that, because you're going to have longer than 6 months to pay this out. But if you need longer than the time frame that it is right now, so 10 months, they do have a 12-month option, and they've got an 18-month option. So if you need a little bit more time to pay the trip off, that's fine. They got you, and you can sign up for that option as well. But as of right now, that's another reason why I booked this trip out so far in advance, because I wanted to give y'all enough time to not feel the added stress of, oh my gosh, I've got to have this paid off in the next 5 months or 6 months or 4 months or whatever. Because even my cruise that I'm going on, and a couple of other trips that I've booked, it's the same thing. It's like, actually, no, my cruise in mid-April, they already made me pay it off. So Trover Trip's given you a little bit shorter of a window, which I think is really nice. But yeah, so 25% down to secure a spot, just paid in full by November 4th. And then you have payment plans, 6 months, 12 months, 18 months, whatever you need, they've got you. Let's see, Deandra. Deandra said, nope, at 50, the baby factory is shut down. It has to do with our estrogen. I know. I'm not quite there yet. We're going to be 39 this year, Jeff and I. We were born 2 days apart. I don't know if you know that. He was born May 1st, 1984. I'm May 3rd, 1984. So we are both going to be 39 this year. We're getting there, but we're making it. Mark, where are you talking about? I'm not sure what you're talking about. I'm talking about Iceland. Mark. I'm hosting a group trip to Iceland next year, February 2024. So that's what we're chatting about. Because booking opens up Monday, this upcoming Monday, January 16th. 8 a.m. And so I wanted y'all to have all the information that you could possibly stand about the trip to help you make an educated decision on whether you want to come along with us. Got plenty of time to pay it off and get ready for it and find you some flights. And then I also just wanted to be able to get y'all's questions asked, because I know I've had some questions in my DM about it. So now is the time. If y'all have any questions, please ask me. Otherwise, I did write down some questions that I've had in my DMs. Samantha, I wrote yours down because I know you asked me 3 separate questions. So before I answer those, do y'all have anybody got any questions about the trip that I haven't talked about? Any qualms, any reservations other than time and taking off work and the money? And believe me, I understand all of that. Like I said, I knew that this trip wasn't going to be super cheap. If I went down like my Costa Rica trip, Central America, or, even South America, it's a lot cheaper. The dollar goes further. Southeast Asia, dollar goes a lot further. But then when you start getting into Europe, it's very similar to us here, maybe just a smidge bit more expensive depending on where you go. And then, of course, Iceland, it's up in the Arctic Circle. It's an island. Things are more expensive on islands. I don't care where you go. So I knew that this was going to be a bucket list trip, one of those trips that you're going to pay a little bit more money, but it's going to be so worth it. And you're going to make, I think, so many wonderful just memories of a lifetime. Kind of like when Jeff and I went on our honeymoon. We went to a place that we didn't think we'd ever be able to go. We went to the Maldives, way on the other side of the planet in the Indian Ocean. It was our honeymoon. It was a big deal. And neither one of us have ever been married before. So it was especially a big deal to do this at like 37 or 38 years old. But it's that trip that you're not going to do this trip all the time. You're going to put down a little bit more money to cross this off your bucket list, because I know it's on a lot of people's bucket lists. Ocean Lover says, if I plan to ask a friend to go, but I don't have a hard yes, can I put in a deposit without a name as a placeholder? No. They do, if you ever go into the page when it opens, they do have you fill out your information as far as your personal information, because you are signing yourself up. Now they do have, let me look at this page so I can tell you. Matter of fact, for my YouTubers and Facebookers, let me see if I can pull this up, because they do have some requirements, kind of like anything else, where you can get your money back within a certain time frame. I can tell you for 100% fact that if, let's say, I don't even get the minimum, I have to have 8 people sign up to even go on the trip. If we only get 6 people and I never get any more than that, then your deposit, you'll get all of that back. The trip was never confirmed. You're not going to be penalized for that. Here it is. I'm going to pull this up. And this is the same screen that y'all will see when you go look at my trip page. Again, I've linked it on YouTube in the community posts. I've linked it on Instagram in my highlights and in my stories. I feel like I've just like regurgitated all of these links for y'all. And then on Facebook, same thing. It's in my posts. But you can go and look at the entire itinerary. You can look at each day from start to finish, what we're going to be doing. So you can get an idea in your mind, like what the entire trip is going to feel like for you. You can see what's included, what's not included, exactly where we're going to be going, exactly the hotel names on where we're going to be staying. So you can look this stuff up for yourself. But down here, if you will scroll down to the bottom of this page, ooh, I scrolled too far. You will see that they do have some cancellation policies. So Spot pending, again, that means that I didn't even get the 8 people to be able to go on the trip. So it's not confirmed until I get 8 people. Once I get 8 spots, the trip will be confirmed and it's no longer pending. We're definitely going, even if it's just the 8 of us. So if the spot is still pending because I didn't get enough people and it's not confirmed, your down payment is refundable. And any additional payments, if you just paid it in full, all refundable. If I get the 8 people and now the trip is confirmed and we're definitely going, whether you get to come or not, your deposit is not refundable, but any additional payments that you paid are refundable. And then 90 days pre-trip. So this is the last day that you would have to pay it off. By that time, you've kind of waited too long to cancel your spot. And so you wouldn't get anything back. So I would just say, and that's kind of standard across the board. Again, with these cruises that I booked, and then my flights that I've got going to Costa Rica or going to, coming back from the UK and stuff, it's kind of the same thing. You can't wait till that last little window. Wifey Pooh says, is travel insurance refundable? So you will get travel insurance on your own. It's not included with a trip. Lots of great, affordable travel insurance. I would look at, there's one called World Nomads. That one's really good. One that I like is called Safety Wing. And this is primarily just travel insurance. So they will cover different things depending on where you're going and your age and whatever policy you sign up for. Just like any other insurance, you got to pick the one that works best for you. But a lot of times those include things that happen to you while you are out traveling, versus it's not like health insurance being at home. You will put down your dates or maybe the month that you're going to be gone, whatever you're going to be doing, and then they will cover you for that amount of time. I would also look into any travel credit cards or just credit cards that you have. I know we've got a Chase credit card. It's not a travel one, but it's got some awesome travel protections in there as far as if they lose our luggage, even if our trip is delayed, if my flight is delayed, if my flight's canceled, if I lose, like if I bought an iPad with it and then I break it while I'm on the trip, they'll reimburse me for it. I'm trying to think of some others. They've got all kinds of car insurance. If I rent a car, like it's included with that credit card. And then we just got another one from Capital One. The Venture X card has got some great travel stuff included with it. So definitely take a look at your current health insurance that you have, if you have it. A lot of times they will have something included as far as if you're traveling abroad, what they'll cover. And then look at your credit cards or anything you think is travel related that might include some insurance there. And then as far as whether it's refundable, I think it solely depends on who you go with and what policy you have. And I'm sure that if for some reason you need to cancel your trip, they probably, just like this, have some sort of cancellation policy to go along with it. So just make sure, as always, you're reading the fine print. I did say earlier in the broadcast that if I were you looking at trip insurance, I would absolutely make sure that I have myself covered as far as flights, because we've seen it in the news time and time again about flights being canceled or being delayed. You need luggage protection, especially if you intend to check a bag. And then you need to have some sort of limited health insurance as far as if there's an emergency. Can you go get some medical assistance there? If you need to be evacuated out for some weird reason, do they cover that? Those are kind of the 4 things I always look for when I look for travel insurance. I want to make sure that these big ticket items that I've spent money on and my health are protected. Ocean Lover says, wow, I have chased it. Know that. Yeah, definitely look in your fine print on what's included. Not all the cards have it, but even our regular Chase Preferred card has some travel insurance. And then, of course, the Reserve has a lot more stuff that's included as far as protecting you because they know you're going to use it, especially when you're traveling out and about. So check that out. Let's see. Mark said, oh, you're in Australia. I want to come to Australia, Mark. I've got one of my best girlfriends married in Australia. And I keep saying we need to go down there and he can kind of give us the tour of where he's from. So I really, really, really would love to do that. What does this say? Is American money accepted? So yes, you can bring some cash. I always recommend bringing cash because you never know what's going to happen when you get over there. And like you already told your bank, hey, I'm going to Iceland. I did this, by the way. I got to London. I told them all, this is where I'm going. This is when I'm going. And wouldn't you dang know it, I got off the plane and there I am in the tube station trying to buy a freaking pass to get on the tube. And I can't because it's like, it keeps saying decline, decline, declined. And so here I am now. I don't have any cell service yet because this is back when I first started traveling. These are all the mistakes that I have made that I want to tell you about so you don't do it. So long story short, I ended up getting it all figured out. It just took me a while and it was a heck of a day because nothing was working for me. But take some cash with you. They do take a kroner. And I did include that on my page here that I talk about that. But they will take some American money. But then, of course, when you get over there, you can pay with your card and then they can exchange it for you if you need it. What else do we have on here? Heidi says, I missed the beginning of your live video. Is there an age restriction? No, but to my knowledge, the way it works is if you're coming, one of y'all needs to be at least 18 years old. That's how I read it. So like if you and your daughter want to come, your son or whatever, that's fine. It's as far as I know, it should be fine. But one of y'all needs to be an adult coming on the trip. Two kids can't come or anything like that, which is good. See, Heidi, that's a perfect question because I didn't even talk about that because nobody had asked about it. So great question. And again, please visit the trip page. There is so much good, helpful information on there. Let me go back up to the top for the people who can see it. There's some beautiful pictures, of course. It tells you the dates. It tells you the locations we're going to be going. It tells you the duration, what's included, the trip activities. You can look up each one of these spots. It gives you the exact names of the glaciers and the waterfalls and the geysers we're going to be seeing. It gives you the names of the hotel. And I think that might, if I were you, that would help me if I could go and look these places up and go, oh, okay. Yeah, that hotel looks fine. Because I'm so picky sometimes when I'm making my own travel plans that to kind of give the reins to somebody else and say, here, take it, plan my trip, makes me a little nervous. So that's why I looked up the hotels for you. Now you may have different standards, but if you're just now, hi Sharia, if you're just now getting here, I am not a budget traveler, but I'm not a luxury traveler. Not to say I've never done budget stuff. I'm going to be staying in a hostel for the very first time at 39 years old in London this year, but it looked cute and it's female only. And I want to give it a try so that I can bring that information back to you. We have done luxury. We went to the Maldives for our honeymoon. That's crazy. It was the top of our bucket list, but we don't know if we'll ever be able to do it again. We wanted to say we crossed it off the list. But on the regular, we are just kind of middle of the road travelers. I don't need fancy. I need it to be clean and I need it to be safe. That's what I need. Those are my top two requirements. And then anything else, if it's really cutely decorated, if it's got great food, if it's got a cute bar, that's just a bonus. But my two big things are safety, 100%, especially as a female, because a lot of times I'm by myself, and cleanliness. I'm big on just have it be clean. It's not that hard. Just clean the room. Anyway, got off on a tangent. Okay, so a couple of other questions. I don't see any other questions here. I got you, and then I said hi to Sheree. Okay, perfect. So I think I kind of already talked about this. One of the questions was, are men and women invited or only females? I know I talk primarily to female viewers. You are my demographic, but yes, this is whoever wants to come can come as long as you're nice. That's all I ask. Jeff, my husband, will be coming. If his, hopefully, crossing our fingers as of right now, his schedule is going to allow him. So if that stays that way, he's going to be coming. So definitely you will not be the only male or your husband or your boyfriend or whoever will not be the only male on the trip. You'll be fine. Flight deals. Okay, this is what I said I was going to talk about earlier. If I were you, especially right now, we're a little bit too early to start looking for flights for next year. Usually it's a year. That's kind of the furthest that a lot of flight search engines will let you look out. So even right now, I can't look out anything past November, I think. We haven't even gotten into December on Google Flights or on Hopper or whatever. But as soon as it starts to roll around for maybe next month, I would go ahead and sign yourself up on some flight deal tracker websites. I don't care which one you choose. One that I love is Scott's Cheap Flights. I think they just changed their name to Going. Don't know how I feel about that, but they did. They changed their name. Scott's Cheap Flights is constantly sending me daily emails. And if that annoys you, what I do is I filter those messages out. They go to their own mailbox so I can look at it when I want to look at it, but I don't have to see it all the time. But they're always finding all these deals. So, matter of fact, and that's how I knew that they sent me 4 deals for Iceland last year, because they sit in this folder and I can just like search the name. They sent me 4 great travel deals last year during the summer for the time we're going to be going, because they are usually trying to get you about 4 to 6 months out. So right now they're giving me travel deals for this summer for Iceland, which obviously I don't need, but they're there. Secret Flying is another one that I love. They give you a lot of deals called mistake fares. And that's when maybe somebody had like Butterfingers and put it in wrong. And those are deals that you have to really jump on like the same day. But that's another one that I like. I love Hopper. Hopper and Google Flights will both let you plug in the dates, the airports, and then you can set up a little alert. And if something comes along, it will send you an email or it will send you a text message or something like that. It sends me emails. That's what I signed up for. Matter of fact, I've got them on for Singapore right now because, again, I'm trying to get back and forth from Bali in August. And I swear, like every other day, it gives me another something that popped up. This is the current price for Singapore. And I'm like, go away. And then a couple days later, it's like, this is the current price for Singapore. And I'm like, not good enough, But I like setting up those alerts because then it'll just alert me if a good deal comes up. Same thing with Hopper. Both of those sites have graphs. So you can kind of see, like, is this right now, a flight to Iceland is, I don't know, $600. I'm making it up. It will give you a graph to say, like, this is too low, this is high, or this is about the average price you're going to be seeing for this route. So I like that kind of thing too, because you can also play around with the dates. Google Flights. You can play around with the dates. It'll give you this other little, like, it kind of looks like an Excel spreadsheet graph, and you can pop the different dates and see how it changes the price. So if it saves you enough money and you're already thinking about coming in a day or two early, you might be able to get a better deal. You're like, oh, well, I was going to come in a day early, but I can get a great price on this flight 2 days early. I'm gonna do that. So definitely try one of those websites out. Go ahead and set your alerts up, and then when the deals come around, it'll tell you. Hopper lets you put in the dates and the routes as well. You can set up multiples, by the way, for this. If you have several airports around you, you can set up multiples. And then Scott's Cheap Flights doesn't allow you to get that picky, but you can kind of set like your home airport. So like for me, I've got Dallas, the DFW airport set. And then I've got the surrounding airports around Shreveport, Houston, Austin, whatever. And then and then what I'm looking for, maybe I'm looking for Europe or I'm looking for Iceland, and it will send me something if one of those pops up, but it'll also just send me other deals if anything pops up for DFW. So that's fun. But I always just keep those in my email, and I'm looking for flight deals at any time. I will tell you, just from my experience now, granted, before the panty, flights to Iceland would come up some really great deals, like $150. We're not seeing those deals right now post panty. But I would say if you get $500 or less, well, mind you, this coming from Dallas. So if you live up north, I think you're going to have a better time getting a better deal because you're closer. But from Dallas, I'm in the middle of the country. I'm down south. I think if I found a flight less than $500, I would probably book it. If you can get one around 300, that would be superior. But on average, you're going to be looking somewhere between 350 and 750, depending on time of year, where you're flying out from, whatever. So this all changes based on your location. But definitely put those alerts in. And I will tell you, this is what I got off of Scott's Cheap Flights today. I wrote it down so I didn't forget. They say, of course, airfare rates are volatile. Duh. The Goldilocks window, in their opinion, this is what they call it, for international flights is 2 to 8 months prior. So you're looking at maybe the May, June to November is where you're probably going to be able to find the best rates for February flights. Cheapest days of the week to book are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday. And then cheapest months to book are January, February, March, October, and November. So there you are. So hopefully that will help y'all. What else? Let's see. I talked about that. I talked about what's my last question? Oh, the vid. I don't want to say the whole thing, the whole word, because I don't know. These social media platforms just they get so weird when you say those words. But the vid, there are no more rules when it comes to the vid in Iceland. So you do not have to, and you can have your whole face out, and all is well. So as far as right now, Iceland got rid of all of their restrictions last February. So you're good. So no rules there. That's wonderful. Don't have to worry about that. And I think that is all that I had planned for y'all. Hello, Doten Martin. Welcome to the chat. I didn't talk too terribly long. I don't think I planned for this to be about an hour. So we're doing pretty good. Anybody have any other questions that you can think of as far as this trip goes? I just want to make y'all feel as comfortable as possible. Of course, if the time of year is not good for you, I know it's shortly after Christmas, so that can be a factor. I would just say you and your person don't get each other presents for Christmas. This is your present. But that's just me. But I know that the price especially can be a little daunting. Again, a matter of fact, I shaved some stuff off of this trip that I didn't think were completely necessary. Like the previous itinerary had a whole extra day for y'all to just hang out like in Reykjavik and see the town, which I think is awesome. But I was able to take off about $400 off the trip, getting rid of that day. And then I just kind of thought, well, if they have the time and they do have the money, then they can add on that extra day, because like I said, it's included when you go to book. You can just add on a day before or after your trip or both. And so if you have the money and you have the time, great, you can do that for you. And for the people who don't, this puts a little bit more money back in your pocket. So I really tried to save y'all as much money as possible. Don't forget, I have 8 early bird spots, only 8. I can't make it anymore. Those people get $250 off each. So you're going to be paying $3,200. That includes your hotel. It includes 6 breakfasts, 5 dinners. So all but like 1 dinner, I think. And then it includes all of your activities, any fees to get into these national parks, paid for. You don't have to worry about it. Your transportation is taken care of. Your airport transfers is taken care of. You have a guide. We will have a guide to help us along the way, to give us so much more valuable information. And I really think it will enhance our trip just exponentially. So I think it's worth it personally, but for you, it might not be. And that is absolutely okay. I intend to make more than just one of these trips, but this is the first one. So I really, really, really hope to see each and every one of you there. Don't forget, right now, my YouTube channel members and my Patreon members already have access to go book. So booking doesn't open until Monday, but if you're one of my members, not only do you get extra videos, my travel videos just for you, not only are you helping obviously to support me in this endeavor. I just quit my career as a nurse to do this. You're also going to get to have some time, special time with me for us to just chat. I'd really like to do some maybe some monthly Zoom calls as well. Some of my tiers have some postcards. I will send you a handwritten postcard from these destinations that I'm going to. So there's a lot of other perks that I'm working on with those memberships on top of just thank you so much for your support. But yeah, anybody in my memberships can go ahead and book. Just once you join, go to the members area. There's a link there. Go ahead and secure your spot, and then you don't have to worry about it. Otherwise, Monday morning, this upcoming January 16th at 8 a.m., that's when the booking page goes live, and then it's first come, first serve. First 8 people that book, not first 8 bookings, first 8 people that book get $250 off. It's $3,200 a piece, and then after that, it goes up to $3,450. So that is the trip. I am so stinking excited. Like I hate that we have a year, but I'm glad that we have a year because it's going to take some time, to find good flights and stuff. So if y'all don't have any other questions, I am going to probably go. Hi, Ginger Snap. Um, and a Sharbo. I hope I said that right. Hello, welcome to the chat. For anybody just now getting in, if you'll give me just a little bit of time once these streams are done, I'm going to put them up so that y'all can rewatch them. So definitely check out the restream that comes up. And if y'all have any other questions, please don't hesitate to throw them in my DMs. I want to help make you feel as good as you can if you're on the fence about booking. So I would really love to see you there. I think it's going to be a great trip, and I cannot wait to see you. Thank you so much. I will see y'all later. Bye. And by the way, I don't know how to stop this live stream on Instagram. Is this it? Is it? There we go. I did it. I did it. You're welcome. Thank you, Heidi. Oh, Kristen, thank you for taking the time to talk to us. No, yes, you are so welcome. Please let me know if you'll have any other questions, and I look forward to talking to you. Bye-bye.